welcome to beautiful Portland, Oregon, as we kick off Father's Day weekend tonight with a USL Western Conference clash between Portland Timbers 2 and Oklahoma City Energy FC. And welcome into the broadcast booth here at Providence Park alongside two-time MLS Cup champion Nat Borchers. I'm Fletcher Johnson. Thanks for joining us. And Nat, we look at this match, two teams in very different positions at this point in the year. Oklahoma City, one loss in their last 7. Meanwhile, for T2, looking for points for the first time in 5 matches, although a very good performance, encouraging one against Seattle midweek in the Open Cup.
Yeah, Fletcher, a lot of positives from that midweek result against Seattle. A lot of T2 players involved. Very positive performance moving into this game tonight.
One of the guys that will be key if T2 are going to get points tonight will be the man in the middle, Viljan Bijev. 3 goals on 23 shots this year, 14 chances created, which leads this team.
Yeah, look for Bijev to be really pulling the strings in that midfield, really creating chances for T2 in that final third.
Meanwhile, for OKC, it is Andy Craven who will get the start up top as Vucic is out indefinitely with a broken elbow. He was traded for not too long ago for Danny Koenig, who led the team in scoring last year.
Andy Craven has a lot of responsibility tonight for the Energy because he's going to be asked to be running into the midfield, running into the channels for the Energy. It's going to be very important for him to be doing that.
T2, a great opportunity to pick up points at home as Oklahoma City has not won on the road yet this year. All right, coming up next, we'll get you starting lineups and the opening kick between Portland Timbers 2 and Oklahoma City Energy FC right here after this.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track.
Oh, hey. She's cute. Nice going, man.
Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Welcome back to 1844 Southwest Morrison here in the Rose City. Providence Park, the site for tonight's USL clash between Portland Timbers 2 and Oklahoma City Energy FC. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups. And we'll start with Andrew Gregor's home side, the head coach in his 2nd season. Will put out a 4-2-3-1. Kendall McIntosh gets a start in goals. 8 start with T2 this year. Outstanding performance against Seattle midweek in the Open Cup. Augustine Williams, meanwhile, gets a start up top. He scored his first-team goal against Seattle.
Interested to see how many numbers T2 gets forward tonight in the attack.
Meanwhile, for Jimmy Nielsen's Oklahoma City Energy FC, his 4th season, he puts out a 4-5-1. We mentioned Andy Craven up top. Michael Harris, a flip throw he'll employ in the attacking third. And Miguel Gonzalez, an incredible bicycle kick goal earlier this year.
Look for OKC to sit in and try to counter in this game, Fletcher.
All right, so we are set for action here as Portland Timbers 2 will be in the white kits with the green stripes across the chest, blue and green for the visitors from Oklahoma City. As we get set for this one, our center official Levi Rippey will get us underway momentarily here, as it is Father's Day weekend, and early happy Father's Day to you, Nat Borchers.
Thank you, Fletcher. I really appreciate that. Feeling good about this one. This is going to be a fun one for us.
Yes, absolutely, and hopefully getting off to a start with a T2 victory as we are underway. Augustine Williams drops it back for Bijev, and we are playing Friday night soccer. In talking with Andrew Greger earlier this week, was really interested to see how Oklahoma City would come out and play this one, as most teams that do come to Portland prefer to stick in and play off the counter. These two sides did square off a little bit earlier this year, back on April 16th. It was a 2-1 win for Oklahoma City here at Providence Park, and Mickey Daly, who's not in the starting 11, is available off the bench, scored the game-winning goal for Energy FC in the 75th minute.
Nice to see Fletcher, the T2 already getting set with possession already. You can see OKC sitting back, defending, comfortable shape, T2 on the ball.
It was a great experience midweek for a lot of these guys. 6 in total for T2, getting the opportunity to play against Seattle up at Starfire Sports Complex in the US Open Cup. Weren't quite able to get the results, but kind of continued with the trend of T2 not necessarily getting results, but putting in good performances, and there's a belief that the results will come because of that.
Absolutely, and it's all about those performances, Fletcher. You have to have good performances even through difficult times, and I think you've seen that with T2 thus far, and look for them really to come out tonight and be aggressive, be the aggressors in the attack in this game.
You know, one of the other things that's real interesting about this T2 side, so much turnover from the roster last year, really an effort to go young with this group, and it's not set any more perfect than it is tonight. The average age of this T2 starting lineup, 20.7 years old. Meanwhile, for Oklahoma City, 26.3. So you're dealing with a much different experience level here if you're the home side, as opposed to what Jimmy Nielsen's putting out.
Yes, and when you have a team that has so much youthful exuberance, it's really difficult sometimes to manage that and to make sure, okay, we're not sending too many numbers forward, we're not really overcommitting ourselves in the attack, we're really maintaining that balance front to back.
We mentioned in the opener the familiarity between a couple players in this matchup. Andy Craven made his MLS debut back in 2015 against the Portland Timbers first team as a member of Seattle Sounders. Well, there's more familiarity that we'll touch on in just a moment as T2 continues to possess across the back line. Lamar Batista, who is starting at one of those center back spots, he went to high school in Oklahoma City, grew up there, and went to Heritage Hall High. 3 state championships while there, won 5 club championships with Oklahoma FC. So he's familiar with that state and probably with this Energy FC side as well.
He's a legend in Oklahoma in my terms. That is a ton of championships.
Yeah, you win that many championships, you get your name somewhere, right? You know, as we mentioned, and not to belabor the point, the results haven't come, but 6 times this year in the 13 matches that T2 have played, they've outshot their opponent. And a number you won't see very often, they haven't won one of those matches yet. So it shows they're controlling play, they're getting opportunities. It's just that final ball that they need to find, and that seems to be the last thing that comes in the course of a season, isn't it?
Absolutely. Scoring goals is the most difficult thing to do in the game of soccer, and that's why Bijev is going to be so important for this attack tonight, really getting him touches on the ball, getting him in more dangerous areas of the field. He needs to push on in the attack. He needs to be dangerous tonight.
Cody Andrews goes central for Jose Barril, but picked off by T2. Bijev tries to get it to Williams, maintains possession after the ball's deflected back to him, gets it to Cicerone, crosses just in front of Augustine Williams. Ball will stay in play before it's knocked out to touch. And they say it took a deflection off of Blake Bodley.
Just an excellent pass from Bijev. Wins the ball back and able to get across from Bodley. Very dangerous play from T2.
There's the flip throw from Michael Harris. Can wing that ball away. He really started that at the University of Washington, and though he got flack for it, he said, hey, we were winning games, so I'm not going to stop doing it. As the foul's committed by the Energy 35 yards away from goal.
Wow, that flip throw really caught me by surprise, Fletcher, I have to be honest.
Bijev will stand over this one. We mentioned the Fresno, California native. 3 goals so far this season. We'll look to probably try and set up one of his teammates here, as this would be a long attempt to take a shot. Ball comes in, easily knocked away by Kyle Highland. Back to Bijev though. Bodley now goes into the corner for Bijev. Looks like he tries to knock it out of play off of Harris, but to no avail. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, Bijev is going to want to do better with that cross next time. Got to get it up over that first defender for OKC and give his team a chance to attack that ball in the box.
As you get a look at Anthony Wallace, name might sound familiar. He was actually drafted by Portland in 2010, but then immediately traded back to Colorado after being drafted. Now with OKC. T2 controlling the early stages of this match. As you might expect, playing here at home, Andre Lewis to Bautista. Lewis, number 77, another player who performed very well midweek, has kind of taken on that leadership role, if you will, on this young team. Top 10 pick in the 2014 Super Draft, and really has continued to elevate his level of play.
Yes, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing here from T2. You're seeing Bodley go from the right side all the way to the left side to get the ball. Those wingers from T2 are really pinching in right now and giving the defenders, the outside backs for T2, the opportunity to get that width and get forward.
Terrell Lowe making his second start for T2. Wins the ball away, but Hansen can't keep it in play before he knocks it long. Strong possession, strong passing from this T2 side so far here in the early stages of this match. And we talk about some of the things distribution-wise that T2 are strong with. Andre Lewis and Lamar Batista both rank in the top 10 in completed passes in the USL this year. So continuing that here early in this match.
So important for defenders to get the passing right.
As this ball comes forward, Oklahoma City into the box. And nice work by Bautista, although he can't keep it in play, and it will be a corner kick, the first of the night for Energy FC. But some nice work there to deny the opportunity for Dixon.
Yeah, really like the way Bautista closes things down here. Does a nice job. Almost wins the ball back before giving up the corner kick.
So the first corner kick of the night will come from the feet of Jose Barril. Spent 15 seasons as a member of the Real Madrid Academy from '99 to 2014 before signing with Harrisburg City Islanders, and now in his first season with OKC. Yeah, right-footed outswinger. Strikes it, easily cleared away by Cicerone. Knocked back into the box, but then Bijev able to move it all the way across midfield, and it eventually makes its way all the way back to Carl Cochran, who's getting the start tonight in place of Cody Lorendi, who started and played 90 minutes for the Puerto Rican national team earlier this week. In Indonesia, a scoreless draw with the Indonesian national team. Cochran, just his second start of the year. His first one, a scoreless draw with San Antonio FC in OKC's last match out. Really wasn't forced into much, had to make one save, and that was about it. High pressure from T2, wins the ball back. Cicerone now dribbling the other direction, able to get by Wallace. Into the middle for Lewis. Lewis pass just a little off the mark. And now Oklahoma City with a chance coming the other direction. Cross comes in, cleared away by Amick.
OKC really able to break on transition right there after T2 really with that high line able to win the ball, but giving up the opportunity to OKC, and now another corner for us.
Second corner of the night in the first 10 minutes for Energy FC. Baril once again to take.
Really think they're looking for number 7 Rasmussen here. He looks like one of the bigger guys in the box.
This one towards a back post, takes a bounce and then cleared away. Blake Bodley will pick it up. Tries to find Cicerone, but was a bit behind him. This one will run all the way across the end line, and Kendall McIntosh will get his first touch on the ball in this match. Signed from T2 last year, now a member of the first team. Played in 18 games a season ago, a 1.17 goals against average. Hasn't quite had that success with T2 this year, but certainly growing after his outstanding collegiate career at Santa Clara. Ball out off Wallace to touch for a T2 throw. As Harold Hansen, another guy, this player just 17 years old, the youngest member of this T2 side, who really has grown in his 6th month with this organization as well. He's played for the U15s and 16s and 18s at the US. As Baril knocks it out to touch again. And we'll do this for a 3rd time. Hansen started that Open Cup match midweek along with Lamar Batista, Andre Lewis, and Augustine Williams. Russell Cicerone, Billion Bijev came on as second half substitutes. Meanwhile, for Oklahoma City, they had 9 players play midweek in Colorado, a match they were up 2-0 at the break, only to see that lead evaporate in a 3-2 loss. So we'll see how their legs are as this match wears on.
Got to be frustrating being up 2-0 at halftime against a team in a higher division and then ultimately losing 3-2.
An 89th minute goal turned out to be the winner for Colorado, as Oklahoma City put in a pretty solid effort on the road against what more or less amounted to a Colorado Rapids first choice side minus 1 or 2 guys. As Augustine Williams nicely controls the ball off the head to Blake Bodley. Into the middle for Lowe. Low square for Lewis. And Bodley. Hansen able to nicely work the ball around Baril. Gets the pass back from Bijev, has a chance to cross. Will send it in, and ends up going across the end line as he sent the cross in.
Excellent buildup from T2. Really enjoyed the way they were able to work that from the left side all the way to the right side. He gets over to Harold Hansen's foot, and he's able to get across in the box. Lacking just a little bit in terms of the quality, but really a nice possession, nice effort there from T2.
Really, you see that similarity with the first team as well, and why it's so important to have the ability to have this second team, if you will, or T2 as we all call it, to get this opportunity for these guys to play in a system that the first team is playing in, so it makes it a seamless transition whether they're coming up for training or maybe coming up to be a part of the 18 on a Timbers first team game day.
You get the pictures, don't you? When you're a younger player, you get to watch the first team, watch how they train, watch the way they play, watch that style, and really you can see it mirrors a lot in the ways that the Timbers like to possess. They like to play, through the middle, like to go direct sometimes, and it's really important for those young players to kind of get that picture.
Foul committed by Bjornthun. As we are scoreless, about a quarter hour into this one here between Portland Timbers 2 and Oklahoma City Energy FC. Fletcher Johnson and 2-time MLS Cup champion Nad Borchers here with you this evening. As Baril shields Cicerone and knocks it back to Cody Andrews. Gonzalez can't control the pass. T2 release pressure to midfield. Jev tries a nifty little flick but can't control it. But T2 through their pressure earn it back.
Seeing some direct balls from Lamar Batista early, into Augustine Williams. Really interested to see if they're going to be able to connect a little bit more on that side and really get Williams into some of those channels, because sometimes OKC is pushing up a little higher than I think they might be comfortable doing.
Augustine Williams at 6'2" also has the pace to go along with it. Really someone they can believe can develop into a big talent. As Bodley's cross, that's into the box, but only Juan Pablo Guzman there to clear it away for Energy FC.
Excellent play on the left-hand side.
Nifty touch by Gonzalez, but stolen away by T2. Ball at the feet of Bijev. Drops it out for Cicerone. Defended by Wallace. Cross it in, deflects off Wallace for T2's first corner kick of the evening.
Yeah, look at the interplay here between Bodley and Bjornathan. Very well done. Gets into that channel and just gets across in here.
A lot of OKC bodies in there. Had a chance to pick his head up and try and find one of his teammates.
Look for some of the big bodies in here, Fletcher, to get on the ball. The Williams of the world, the Lamar Batistas.
Bodley, a left-footed in-swinger, back post. Amick wins the header. Can't direct it on frame, though. And out for a goal kick. So T2 with the lone shots of the match registered so far here through 17 minutes of action. Harold Hansen, as we mentioned, just 17 years old. Nat Borchers, what were you doing when you were 17 years old?
I wasn't playing at this level. I'll be perfectly honest with you right there. I definitely wasn't as big as he is, and was definitely not as fast or as athletic. So an excellent opportunity for a guy like Harold Hansen. He has done an excellent job thus far at his tender young age, and it's going to be fun to see him develop.
The real question, though, is was that beard growing at that rate at the age of 17?
Oh, my goodness. No way, man. I don't think I started growing this thing, even a little facial hair, until I was like 26.
Long ball forward by Oklahoma City, cleared away. Bodley does nice to keep it in play and avoid the OKC throw, as Lewis will settle things down. In talking with the head coach as this ball forward finds Augustine Williams, can't quite control it, and Wallace wins out. We talked about the youth of this team and how expectations are, as Hansen's called for the foul. He'll be called over by Levi Rippey. We talked about the youth of this team as we take a look at the replay.
Hansen's got to be careful here. Leading with the studs, went in with both feet up. Opportunity for the referee definitely to give him a card.
Which he does. Harold Hansen in the book for the challenge in the 18th minute.
Deserved, in my opinion. Can't lead with both feet. Can't lead with your studs up in the game, in the modern game.
So the youth of this T2 team, a lot of people believe, hey, you're playing at home, becomes easier to win matches than it is on the road, which naturally is the case. But is there some pressure as well, Nat, that comes with being a young team and then feeling you have to boss a match because you're playing at home? And is that part of the learning curve as well?
Especially here, Fletcher, in this stadium at Providence Park. A lot of teams come in here. You see it at the first team level. They get up for the atmosphere. They just love playing in this wonderful stadium. And there is a pressure to be aggressive. There is a pressure to be bossing the game, to have that possession. And I think you have to be careful sometimes, because sometimes you get overcommitted or you get a little bit too nervous and you don't play the right game.
Nice ball forward by Bijev to win out. Lewis tries to find Williams, but it's cut out by Andrews. T2 has certainly had the better of the play so far here through the first 20 minutes as Bijev finds Bodley, can't quite control the pass. But T2 remain in possession.
Transition game seems really like an opportunity where T2 can get at OKC. It seems like a couple times there, the ball turns over in the midfield, and really they get an opportunity to break. Williams, Bodley, Cicerone really getting the opportunity to get into the attack and create an opportunity, especially when OKC has committed numbers forward.
Here comes Bjornathan. Leaves it for Bodley, sends the cross in. Augustine Williams eventually gets on the end of it, all the way at the edge of the box, though. Bodley tries to dribble around his man, can't quite do so. Now Bjornathan with it, dribbling negatively. And he will drop it to Batista. Batista square into the middle for Lewis. Man, nice work to relieve some pressure by T2 as Lewis slips on the pass, still finds its way to Hansen. Quick one touch to Cicerone. Wallace is first there and is able to keep the ball in play. Actually, Cicerone does incredible work as the shot comes from Hansen, saved by Cochran. And OKC releases the pressure. First real nervy moments for the visitors in the 21st minute.
Seeing Harold Hansen there and Cicerone really combining well to find that channel and get that cross in the box.
Gonzalez pass square for Craven is taken away by Lowe. Pressure relieved momentarily. Now the ball at Bijev's feet.
Got to feel encouraged here, Fletcher. If you're a T2 fan, especially just the way they've come out, they've bossed this game so far. They've had good possession, and that was really the first big-time chance that they've had in the box. And I think that's really all deserving. They've really come out and performed well so far.
They've been connecting passes tonight, which has been key to maintaining possession and pressure on this Oklahoma City side. Really, Andrew Greger felt there was a difference in this team after the US Open Cup match against Seattle, feeling that hearing the message that he had been so often telling them, having them hear that from Caleb Porter just kind of instilled that, hey, even though we're not getting the results, we keep putting in these performances, the results will come. And they certainly have played the first 22 minutes that way here this evening. Cicerone in the middle. Still in possession, drops it for Lowe. Lowe's pass actually finds the feet of Bijev. He sends Augustine Williams through. Incredible save by Cochran diving down. And now Oklahoma City relieves pressure. Only momentarily, though, Bijev nearly able to cut out the pass at the top of the box. But now the ball at Harris's feet. Oklahoma City trying to settle things down a little bit. As T2's come up with some great opportunities here in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, as you can see here, a lot of possession here in the middle of the field. Bijev's able to slip the ball through. Williams with an excellent opportunity, just can't get it past the goalkeeper.
Shouts for a foul in the box from Cicerone, who went down. None given by Levi Rippey. Augustine Williams will be thinking about that one tonight. As Amick does nice work to shield the ball, allowing Hansen to come over and get it. Augustine Williams tries to rise up, and the foul is called by Rippey on Andrews. So the big man getting rewarded for trying to win that ball, keep possession.
What I was going to say earlier, Fletcher, that the possession game allows you to do is it really allows you to get numbers forward. Unlike the counterattack where you're getting one or two players forward and trying to break and create an opportunity, you really allow many numbers to get forward. And in these opportunities we're seeing from T2, they're able to get their outside backs involved. They're able to get their wingers involved. You're able to see Williams and Bijev and Cicerone, in the box. And that's what you want to see if you're, attacking, creating opportunities from T2's standpoint.
Low central for Bijev. He'll find Cicerone, top of the box, takes the shot, and Cochran once again diving down to his left makes the save. Like that first time look from Cicerone, quick dribble, get that shot off, see if Cochran's in good position.
Cicerone with a nice underneath run there, really creating an excellent opportunity to score.
So a flurry of chances here for T2 in the last 3 minutes, really.
Really want to be careful here if you're T2, because a lot of times in soccer you get those numbers forward, you get a couple chances, and then you just get this really sense that, okay, you're bossing the game, you're on top of it, and bam, just like that, OKC gets an opportunity. So you're gonna have to be really, really careful if you're T2, especially in the back.
Bodley comes all the way to the center to pick this ball up, playing now on the right. Cicerone thought he was making the run down the line, but he wasn't. Cochran plays the ball forward to Burrill. Tried to find Craven. Direct. Now Cicerone. Deflection takes it to Lewis. Lewis receives the shove from Gonzalez, able to keep possession. Out of Bautista. 26th minute. 3 to 4 good chances for T2 so far. Not much for the visitors, as Kendall McIntosh has only put a couple touches on the ball, and I'll add another one there. You really look at last season, Nat, and these two sides played in early September over at Merlot Field as Hansen sends the cross in, no one home, and Cochran easily off his line to grab it. Played in September over at Merlot Field as we take another look at this opportunity from Cicerone.
Wonderful underneath run there. Bijev giving the service to Cicerone and a little bit more on that potential to score.
It's a 4-0 win for T2, and it really was kind of the game that led them to kick on at the end of the year. They nearly made the USL playoffs, lost on a tiebreaker for the last spot as Burrill has the ball down in the corner. Now drops it to Guzman. Guzman around one man. Will now play a pass through to Dixon. Lowe knocks it out, and it'll be the third corner kick of the night for Oklahoma City. But it was really the game in which T2 kicked on. For Oklahoma City, they didn't win a game the rest of the year. So that was really a turning point of the season for both of those teams. I know Andrew Gregor's hoping that that could be the case again here tonight, as T2 has played very well here in the opening half hour. Ball will come in from this near corner flag. It'll be a right-footed in-swinger. Struck near post. Doesn't get by the first man, Lewis, and knocked out the touch.
Bit of a scrum there in the middle of that box. Interesting to see OKC's setup for that corner kick. They do specialize in set pieces, and you can see Jimmy Nielsen posting everybody up or in and around Kendall McIntosh, making it very difficult for him.
As we take a look,
can't even see him.
Yeah, 4 men standing around Kendall McIntosh. As we get a foul called on Oklahoma City. In a situation like that, obviously, the more bodies around him, the more difficult it is for him to judge where that ball is coming. Solely the purpose there, or is there any other reason or meaning that all those players would be gathered around him?
Well, Kendall McIntosh, shorter in stature than most goalkeepers, and I played, with Nick Romano for many, many years, and a lot of teams like to do that to him because he was a little bit shorter. But as a defender, you have to box those guys out. Make sure you have room for Kendall to move. Make sure he's got space so that he doesn't get trapped in there, because if he gets trapped in there, he can't do his job.
Burrill, a nice back heel to keep it in play to Gonzalez. Now to Guzman. Over in space to Rasmussen. Dixon and Harris making the overlapping run. Dixon will send the cross in, finds the feet of Gonzalez. Deflected away by Bautista momentarily, still at the corner of the box though. Dixon at his feet, cross comes in. Header won by Terrell Lowe, ball falls to Burrill, into the middle for Guzman. He goes back to Burrill, takes the shot, header! Saves it from the back of the net as it was by Kendall McIntosh. As it was Bjornathan who got his head to it and keeps this match level.
Hero save here from Bjornathan. Unbelievable. Puts his head on the line for his team, keeps that clean sheet. Should get plaudits from his goalkeeper. And T2 really unfortunate not to rotate out there. I think Lewis really needed to rotate out there and get something on that initial cross, because there was just too much time for OKC on the ball, able to get their heads up and get that ball out and get that ball crossed into the box.
You say rotate out. What do you mean?
When I say rotate out, I mean Lewis is a central midfielder. He needs to get out into the channel and get out after that midfielder that OKC had.
Ball comes in, bounces once in the box. Is it another corner kick? Yes, it is. They'll say it deflected off of Bjornathan, and we'll do it all over.
Because sometimes you commit numbers in the attack and your wingers cannot get back. That's the opportunities when your central midfielders, your holding midfielders, your 8, your 6, the Lewises, the Lows of the world, they have to get out there and get pressure to that ball.
Fifth corner kick of the night. Burrell's taking all of them. He'll strike this one towards the center of the box. Header won by Bjornathan easily. Back to Burrell, pressured by Augustine Williams. Williams able to keep it in play. Certainly looked like the ball went off Burrell, but they say last touch by Williams for an OKC throw. So a little bit of extended pressure here by the visitors after some great opportunities for T2 to open the scoring a few minutes ago.
You can feel the momentum's changed just a bit here. T2 is going to have to weather a storm, it looks like, especially with this flip throw coming through.
You expect to see it. Here it is. Harris throws it into the box. Lewis wins the header only to Dixon. Takes the first time shot, and over the top of Kendall McIntosh's net. Had him worried.
Excellent technique there from Dixon. Gets his head over the ball a little bit more, and that thing has eyes for the net.
Dixon spent 3 seasons with the Houston Dynamo from 2011 to 2013. Made 13 appearances with the first team side, scored a goal. Spent the last couple seasons with the Jacksonville Armada. Augustine Williams wins the header. Bodily controls. Quick one touch to Bijev, who touches it back to Williams. Low, back to Batista. OKC certainly put some pressure on T2 with the set pieces. That's certainly something to watch moving forward.
It's amazing in soccer how that can change games. You have these set piece specialists, the ability to score from a throw-in, and that's just an excellent example of the weaponry you have on the attack if you're Jimmy Nielsen's team. And you can tell they practice those examples. They practice those plays in training, and it's very, very hard if you're the T2 to defend those kinds of situations.
Amick's loose touch nearly sends Craven in, but he's able to get the ball to Batista. Bijev trying the long switch over to Hansen. Highland wins the header though. T2 back with it. Hansen dribbling, will go in for Bodily. Gets around his man. Now falls to Cicerone. Takes the shot. Another save by Cochran, this time with his left leg. So much encouraging play forward from T2 though.
Yeah, just check out Bodily's run here. He comes left to right, comes over into that little space in front of the back four, gets in the box, and then Cicerone cleans it up. Great opportunity to score there.
Looks like he doesn't quite get as much on it as he would have liked. Bodily's cross now towards the near post. Header won by Highland. Lewis wins the second header though. Bodily stays on his feet. It looks like he handled the ball. And a quick restart for Oklahoma City the other way.
Been very impressed, Fletcher, at the movement of the front 3, front 4 for T2. A lot of difficult situations if you're an OKC outside back or holding central midfielder, trying to follow Bodily coming left to right, trying to follow Cicerone coming right to left, Bijev and Williams in the middle. It's really difficult to defend those kinds of situations.
Bodily's 8th start of the year. Dare to say potentially his best half so far of the season with how active he's been. Now Oklahoma City playing with it just inside the attacking half. Ball forward finds Dixon down near the end line. His touch heavy. Bjornathan wins out, forced to touch it. Now goes all the way down the sideline and out to touch for an Oklahoma City throw. Burrell Drops it back for Harris. His left-footed cross/shot doesn't trouble Kendall McIntosh, and easily out behind the goal.
Amick's got to be really careful there. He and Craven getting mixed up in the box. A lot of pushing, shoving, and holding. A lot of stuff I used to do as a center back for sure, but you can obviously get called for PK in situations like that. So definitely he's got to be careful.
The good old days, right? When you could do that kind of stuff.
That's right. Things have changed a little bit since then.
Bjornathan picks it up, racing forward. Drops for Lewis. Oklahoma City pressing a bit higher than they did early in this match. Trying to win it back. Craven's been relatively quiet. Dangerous touch by Bautista back towards his own goal, but gets it to McIntosh. McIntosh will go back to Bautista over the top of Craven. Bautista's pass intercepted, but nice work by Bijev to take it back. Now low in the center circle. Cicerone nutmegs the center official. Now out to Bodley. He'll cross towards the back post over the top of Augustine Williams, who does chase it down at this near corner flag. Williams will now send the cross in. Takes a deflection and easily won by Wallace. He'll dribble out of the box.
Excellent from Michael Amick there, getting pressure to Craven, making them switch the field of attack and go backwards.
I would imagine that's a place you'd like to see Craven, any attacking player, pick up the ball is in his defensive half.
As far away from your own penalty box as possible if you're a defender.
Loose touch by Guzman, and he wins out. Otherwise, it would have been a 4v3 the other way. Now to Highland. Picked up by Lewis. Now Dixon picked up by Lewis. Hansen falls. Highland cross in on the ground, cleared away by Bjornathan. Header down by Andrews. Back to Guzman, and then Andrews again. Williams called for the foul in the center circle. Foul called on Gonzalez, excuse me. As Lewis wins the free kick, about 8 minutes to go, plus stoppage time before the break. Good chances for both sides, but fair to say T2 has had the better of the opportunities. 2 or 3 clean looks on goal, but some big saves by Carl Cochran, who was making just his second appearance of the 2017 season for Energy FC. You know, imagine it being as young as T2 are, as their point as Bijev dribbles around his defenders, taken down, a foul call just outside the box, and this will be a very dangerous opportunity for T2. And there you go. Said he would create, needed to create, did something there to earn his team a dangerous free kick.
Excellent work from Bijev here. Able to get it around his man, create some space, earn the foul. Now an excellent opportunity for T2 to get a set piece goal. Been very impressed with Bijev thus far. He's getting a lot of touches on the ball, being very dangerous.
Yeah, Andrew Grigor told us this week T2's offensive success would rely tonight on Bijev getting on the ball and making things happen, and he certainly has through 39 minutes here this evening. Bodley and Bijev standing over it. Bodley would strike with his left, Bijev with his right.
Tough to get your timing right on these close-in set pieces.
Ball back post, just over the top, and a penalty kick called. A penalty kick called for Portland. As I can't tell if it was, I believe it was Bautista that was taken down, and Cody Andrews can't believe it.
Just see the center of your screen. Little tug on the jersey. For me, that's pretty light, especially with what we just saw. And it doesn't look like the attacker is at all off balance because of that pull. Surprised with what we saw in the box on the other end that would be called.
William Bijev will step up to take this one. He's 1 for 2 this year. Had his penalty kick blocked against Sounders 2 on April 1st. Scored against Sacramento from the spot on the 22nd of April. A chance to open the scoring. BJF step strikes, and T2 has the lead. BJF's 4th goal of the year puts T2 in front less than 6 minutes before the break.
Love the stutter step here, guys. Really gets the goalkeeper moving one way, takes a look up, boom, slots it the other way.
Like he's done it a time or two, huh?
It's a clinical finish from BJF. I like those penalties, Fletcher. I think those, unless you get worked up by the goalkeeper, which can happen, those are an excellent way to take penalties.
And fair to say a deserved lead. Maybe not quite a deserved penalty kick, depending on your point of view. But certainly with the way Portland has played here in the first half, a deserved goal.
The more often you're in the box, the more often you can get calls like that and opportunities. And T2 has been on the front foot, so obviously deserving of being in that situation. And sometimes you just have to get the calls, and sometimes you don't. And they made the most of it.
Quickly the other way, Oklahoma City's earned their 6th corner kick of the night. And it's a dangerous time for young teams. Right after scoring a goal, you got to make sure you're mentally turned on.
Yeah, these are the situations where you have to be switched on. Grab your man, wrap him up, make sure that he does not score.
So Barril's taken pretty much all of these corner kicks so far. Miguel Gonzalez has come over to take this one, a right-footed in-swinger. 4 Oklahoma City players crowded around Kendall McIntosh, forced to come off. Doesn't get much to it, but luckily what he does, it bounces straight down into the ground and he's able to grab it.
First real test for Kendall McIntosh. Corrals it nicely. And a little bit of pressure there from OKC. And if I'm an OKC player, Fetch, I'm definitely looking for a call in the box after the last one.
Gonzalez wins the header to the head of Craven. Now a direct ball forward over the top, finds Craven. McIntosh off his line. Can he get it in? Saved off the line once again by Bjornathan. 2nd time tonight. This one finds the back of the net, though, as Lewis's pass forward ends up at the feet of an Energy FC player, and the visitors have leveled the tally.
Really thought Bjornathan had him saved once again, but unfortunate bounces lead to the goal for OKC. Excellent through ball to start this. Kendall McIntosh off his line. Bjornathan with the save. Ball bounces awkwardly. Andre Lewis can't get there.
And that's tough on Lewis. He'll certainly be thinking about that one all night, but tough to control that as it was coming back the other direction. And it was Philip Rasmussen opening his account here in 2017.
And sometimes when you're pushing the game, when you're getting these chances, you push too far forward and you open yourself up to the attack. And that's unfortunately what happened there for T2. They had their chances. It's the last 5 minutes of the half, and unfortunately they just get punished for it.
So a couple goals in a couple minutes, one for each side. And we're back to level terms, as the BJev penalty kick goal seemed to wake up Oklahoma City here a bit in the waning moments of the first half. Long throw in from Harris. This will be the flip throw. All the way into the box. Terrell Lowe, the only one there to win the header. BJev heads on to Bodley, who will try and get around Harris. Tries to find Williams, and that is a handball on Andrews, and we'll certainly see a caution for that, if not more than that, because that was clearly an attempt to stop the ball, as Augustine Williams probably would have been in on the keeper.
Andrews knew exactly what he was doing here. Loses footing a bit, pauses, If he doesn't do this, Williams is off to the races.
I mean, is that a red card offense?
I don't think so, because there was another defender back there for OKC.
T2 has it in the box. Cicerone gets a cross off towards the back post. Header won by Harris, and OKC releases pressure. Gonzalez loses out to Lowe. Lewis now to Bijev, takes the shot high over Cochran's net.
A bit of a frenetic pace right now after those 2 goals. Both teams going at each other.
This is a time I would imagine that probably both coaches would be happy to head to the locker rooms for the break, but all the players on the field want to keep this thing going, right?
You get into that rhythm, you start seeing these chances created. It just really, you know, makes your blood boil as a player. You just enjoy the action of the game.
1 minute of stoppage time here in the first half. Really haven't had any stoppages, so we'll see how long this stoppage time lasts at the discretion of Levi Rippey. Cicerone, Bijev, his back pass directly to Craven, who's got a run coming from Dixon into the box. Shot wide of Kendall McIntosh's net. You see one of those counter-attacking opportunities, and it was set up by a bad pass backwards from Bijev.
Dixon with an excellent opportunity here. If he takes this touch more towards goal, I think he has a better chance at scoring. Timbers have to be very careful here on some of these passing.
Expect the whistle to go at any moment here. And there it is. We've hit the first half break as T2 opened the scoring on a Villian Bijev penalty kick goal, only to see Oklahoma City answer back moments later. And that leaves us where we are now, 1-1 through 45 minutes. Coming up, we'll get you the first half highlights and first half thoughts. But from Providence Park through 45 minutes, Portland Timbers 2, Portland Timbers 2-1, Oklahoma City Energy FC 1. Halftime is next.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track.
Oh, hey. She's cute. Nice going, man.
Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
It was a fairy tale USL debut fit for a king. Fit for the king, Didier Drogba. Drogba's debut was the highlight of another strong attendance weekend for the USL. Week 12 drew over 87,000 fans, bringing total league attendance so far this season over the 750,000 mark. Drogba made his presence known early on in front of a sold-out crowd at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex, but it wasn't until the 40th minute the man everyone had been waiting to see found the back of the net off an Amadou Dia cross. But he wasn't done. In the 77th minute, Drogba drew two defenders and slipped a pass to former Chelsea teammate Sean Wright-Phillips for a familiar far post strike. That goal would serve to be the game winner. Over 7,000 fans were there to witness history for the USL and to witness the King make his mark on the game, having a part in both goals to lead Phoenix Rising FC to the 2-1 win over Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
1-1 at the break here at Providence Park between Portland Timbers 2 and Oklahoma City Energy FC. We welcome you back into the broadcast booth here high above Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson joined alongside by two-time MLS Cup champion Nat Borchers. Nat, we talked coming in about T2, their performance midweek, how it was encouraging, certainly has continued in the first 45 minutes tonight.
Very encouraging if you're a T2 fan tonight, seeing lots of possession from T2, lots of chances created.
You look at Viljan Bijev, we knew that if Portland was going to have success going forward, it would be through his feet.
Yes, and you've seen Viljan Bijev be very dangerous in the attacking third, getting lots of touches on the ball.
So we take a chance to look at the first half highlights. We start in the 23rd minute, and Portland got the first chance on goal.
Bijev here with the feed, Williams with the chance.
Williams nearly able to find the back of the net, but a great save looked like by the face of Cochran. We move to the 29th minute, and it was Oklahoma City's first real good chance.
Bit helter-skelter in the box here from the T2. Bjornathan coming up spades. What a save.
Big time. He would make another one like that later in the half, but clearing it off the line kept this match scoreless in the 29th minute, and then we move to the 33rd.
Nice movement here from T2. Bodily getting into the box. Cicerone, excellent opportunity on goal. Loved the movement from the attacking 3 and 4 for T2 this half.
That build-up from T2 would lead to this, an opportunity off a cross.
Harsh call if you're an OKC fan. The referee has a perfect viewpoint, though. T2 with the penalty.
Batista earns it, and Bijev will step.
Love the penalty from Bijev here. The stutter step gets the ball into the back of the net. 1-0.
Mere moments later, though, it was Oklahoma City finding an equalizer.
Always the worst times to get scored on is after you've scored a goal. And here it is.
Bjornathan saves it the first time, but Rasmussen is there to finish.
Unfortunate. Bjornathan with an excellent save. T2 giving up the goal.
So that is where we sit through 45 minutes at 1 apiece, as it gives us a chance to look at the first half stats. What sticks out to you on that list there, Nat?
I think really the total passes, Fletcher. I think that T2 has really done a great job of just connecting passes and really being dangerous in the final third and creating those opportunities, because passing really leads to chances.
Nearly 55% of possession, as Portland, very encouraging half as they look for their first points in the last 5. The two teams will switch ends, and we'll get set for the second half of action here from Providence Park. You have one change at the break for the visitors. It'll be Chad Bond, the 6-foot, 30-year-old midfielder, coming on in place of Jose Barril, who was quiet the majority of that first half, was the man who sent in 5 of the 6 Oklahoma City crosses as we are back underway here at Providence Park.
We'll be interested to see how aggressive T2 is this half and how OKC's legs last them this half. They played a lot of games recently, a lot of time on the road. See how long they last.
We saw the highlights there at the break of the goals back-to-back. It's been one of the focus points and that for Andrew Greger in his coaching of this young team is the ability to manage moments. And no doubt he will look back at that and have some frustrations that his team wasn't able to manage that moment a little bit better than they did. Bijev sends in the ball. Cochran off his line, gets a touch to it. First time hit from low is blocked away and falls back to Lewis, who will go all the way back to Bjornathan.
And that management component, Fletcher, is just so important, especially when you have an inexperienced side like T2. Very young, very youthful. You know, you want to have guys just being able to step up and say, hey, 5 minutes left in the half, guys. We got to lock things down. We got to make sure we don't make any mistakes this half.
Truly is the thing that makes the difference between winning and losing is Highland finds Gonzalez. Now Highland the cross in. Bjornathan an important header as Craven was right behind him. T2 still haven't released pressure though. Harris cross into the box. Hansen deflected off the post and rolls out of play for a corner kick. That shot came from Highland as Hansen hit the clearance, and it nearly cost T2 a goal.
Yeah, missed clearance there from Hansen leads to an opportunity for OKC. Bjornathan again in a good position here to clear the ball out of play.
Third time tonight that Bjornathan has deflected a ball or saved a ball off the line. This header won and cleared off the line again. It was initially saved by McIntosh, and then Lewis cleared it off the line, and a goal kick in the end, but nearly an opener for OKC here to start the second half. What a save by McIntosh diving to his left.
Not quite sure how the ball doesn't go into the back of the net for OKC here. Again, a few stops from the T2 defense. T2 really absorbing some pressure here.
It looked like Cody Andrews was down holding his head. He's up to his feet. And certainly some shouts from Jimmy Nielsen down here, the fourth-year head coach for Oklahoma City, for a penalty kick after the one that T2 were given down at this end in the first half. Looks like Bjornathan's left boot may have contacted Andrews in the head. He's back on, and okay. And now Amick called for a foul on Craven. And Levi Rippey says no more to Michael Amick. Quickly put back into play, and then Rippey says, no, we'll start that again.
T2 is going to really have to be careful on these set pieces, Fletcher. That last one almost got him. Got to be tight to your marks.
Guzman now to Rasmussen. Defended by Hansen. Quick cross in. Lewis able to get in front of Wallace and then knocks it out off of Wallace. It's a touch for a throw deep in the defensive half for T2.
Feel as though OKC are really the aggressors this half so far.
Yeah. Came out with a little bit more energy, and important for T2 to get through this stretch without giving up a goal. Hansen just clears it long to relieve the pressure momentarily. Cochran outside his box, bodily pressuring him and forces him to play it out into the stands.
Sometimes this is what you have to do, just get the ball up and out, clear your lines, get up into your opponent's attacking half of the field or defending half of the field.
Mijev looking for a high boot, doesn't get it. Augustine Williams chases the ball down the center of the field. Bjornathan, defended by Dixon, drops it back for Lewis. Central for Lowe, making his second start of the season for T2. And Batista's pass stolen away, now to the feet of Craven. Lewis coming in, can't win it away, then Batista does right at the edge of the box. Knocks it away from Craven, an important touch there.
Batista just cleaning things up there after making an errant pass.
Already 4 shots on goal for the visitors here to start the second half. We've only played 5 minutes. Bjornathan slips. Ball crossed. McIntosh gets his right hand to it, still up in the air. Ball still on the ground, and now McIntosh finally gets a touch to it. And a grab, and relieves that pressure.
Dangerous cross here from OKC. McIntosh gets a paw on it. Not cleared out yet. T2 dodges another bullet.
Rasmussen and Craven both had shots at it after Bond sent the initial cross in. And then Gonzalez won the header to put it back into the 6-yard box.
These set pieces are really causing T2 some problems. As you're seeing, you know, it's a throw-in set piece or it's just a set piece from the field of play, and very difficult to defend some of these things. I know as a defender, always tough to be switched on sometimes, you know, when you're dealing with those kinds of service and that kind of pressure from these set pieces.
Oklahoma City certainly appears to be pressing a bit higher than they did in the first half, and it's serving them well to this point. Like we said, the majority of these guys, 9 of them in total, played in their US Open Cup match against Colorado midweek. So we'll see how long the legs last. Important to note as well, if you're not familiar with the rules of USL, 5 substitutes allowed for each side as opposed to the 3 that we see in Major League Soccer. So still 4 substitutes available for OKC and the full allotment of 5 for Andrew Greger's T2 side.
T2 just getting back on the ball here, Fletcher, stringing some passes together. Really just trying to find that rhythm again. Get back on the ball, connect a little bit, get your breath, see if you can create something.
T2 happy to settle things down a bit. Low goes central for Lewis, who let it go. And OKC was there to pick it up. The pass from Guzman in the direction of Dixon was too far in front of him and rolls out to touch. Frustration there from OKC, as they certainly feel like they have the better of the play and momentum right now. Foul called on Williams. Quickly put back into play by Energy FC. Bond's pass nearly intercepted by Williams. Now Dixon trying to get around Bjornathan. He does as Bjornathan slips and falls. Says he kept it in play. McIntosh off his line to deflect it away momentarily, and T2 relieve pressure, only 35 yards away from goal, quickly back in. Highland left-footed cross in. Easy pickings for Kendall McIntosh. Quickly out for Blake Bodley. He's got a ton of space in front of him. Andrews coming back to defend. Make that Bond. 1v1 here on the outside. Bodley will wait for reinforcements, go central for Lewis. He'll switch the point of attack over to Hansen. Tons of space for Hansen. Couple touches, Cicerone comes out. Hansen gets around one man, nearly gets around a second, goes to ground, and the ball rolls harmlessly to Cochran. T2 growing into this half a little bit more, but it certainly has seen OKC be the better side.
Yeah, you can see T2 pushing up a little bit higher now defensively, not sitting in. But OKC definitely the aggressors here, pushing up high, creating, there's a lot of space in behind. I think if you're T2, you can definitely exploit that, get a few runs in behind if you're Augustine Williams.
Low forces Bond to go backwards to Wallace. If you're in T2's position here, how do you try and find your way into this second half more? What do you need? Is there something they need to do as this long ball comes forward for Gonzalez? Dribbles into the box against Hansen, goes to ground, and a penalty kick is called on Hansen. And Oklahoma City will have a chance to take the lead in the 56th minute.
Excellent switch here from OKC, getting the ball right to left, running at the defender. Just mistimes his tackle. Definitely a PK.
It's a similar challenge from Hansen to the one we saw in the first half. And he received a yellow card for Oklahoma City, complaining to potentially try and get that second yellow and have Hansen sent off.
And I think there's definitely a case for that. And as a defender, you definitely want to move your feet a little bit quicker, especially in the box. Make sure that you don't get stuck and stagnant and lead, to a foul like that. But I think the referee gets this one right.
Kendall McIntosh has faced 2 PKs this year. Parra scored for Seattle on May 5th. And then Bustos scored for Vancouver against him on June 4th. McIntosh looking for his first save, and it's the center back, Anthony Wallace, who will strike this with his left foot. Won a 2010 MLS Cup with Colorado, did Wallace. Spent 2015 with the New York Red Bulls. Waiting for the whistle of our referee, Levi Rippey. There it is. Wallace will step strike, and it's saved by McIntosh. Diving to his left, he makes the save to keep this match level.
This is why you don't send the center back to take a PK. Great save from Kendall McIntosh. Fantastic, keeps his team in the game. And I say that jokingly because I always made my PKs when I took them.
That's right, you have a little history with the head man for Oklahoma City, don't you?
Yeah, the last time I got to see Jimmy Nielsen, he was holding MLS Cup high over his head while I was crying into my beer.
But you finished off a PK against him in that penalty kick shootout in that MLS Cup final, didn't you?
I did, so I got a little bit of a laugh, but let's be honest, he got the last laugh in that one.
So big moment there for T2 as Kendall McIntosh makes the save. We'll see if they can convert it into some momentum now here in the second half. Long ball forward for Gonzalez, defended by Hansen. Central in the pass picked out by Batista. Is able to knock it long. Bijev has acres of space down that far side. One big dribble. Has Augustine Williams making the run centrally. Tries to play it back, I believe, for Cicerone, but it was well behind him and easily cut away by Energy FC.
Like that first touch from Bijev. Very aggressive. Gets himself in a good position. Didn't really have the support he needed, the runners, to create a dangerous opportunity.
So before that passage of play that we saw, the penalty kick for Oklahoma City earned by Gonzalez. I was asking you about how a young team gets momentum back. How do you try, if you're out there, to get things to swing back in your favor?
It's difficult. I think that when you're under a lot of pressure, sometimes it's not pretty, but you got to clear your lines. You got to get that ball up and out and into the other side of the field. Get your lines up, get everybody forward, and then press in the attacking end of the field. Otherwise, you're inviting pressure, and you're allowing OKC to dictate the game.
Craven called for a foul. Amick not happy about it. Rippey shows him the yellow card. Amick did get the ball first, but Craven went down in a heap.
I think Amick's got a case there for being upset. I think he makes an excellent challenge here. Yeah, gets the ball first, in my opinion, not a foul. The response is what earns him the yellow card.
So two players in the book for Portland, Michael Amick and Harold Hansen. One in the book for OKC, that would be Cody Andrews. And an argument that he should have had a second, or excuse me, that could have had a second on the penalty kick, depending on your point of view, as that ball in easily saved by Kendall McIntosh. Almost get the sense with kind of the perspective we got as Andre Lewis is fouled that sometimes you just need some breaks to go your way, and clearly T2 hasn't had many breaks go their way here early on in the season. Maybe that one on the penalty kick save is something that this team can use as motivation and use as maybe a momentum changer, not only for this game, but if they can turn it into result tonight, a momentum changer for the season as well.
Yeah, and again, going back to those performances, you just keep those consistent, those steady performances, and the results are going to come, and you have to have that collective belief that that's going to happen. And you can see it tonight. A lot of belief here with T2, creating those chances. Obviously, OKC has been the better side in these opening moments of the second half, but still a lot of soccer left to be played.
Brings to mind that run that you went on with the Timbers first team at the end of 2015, 9 unbeaten to win MLS Cup, as Oklahoma City earns another corner kick, their 8th of the night, but a 1-1 draw in Salt Lake, and then on to LA, and seemingly the rest is history. There was just a feeling from outside the group that at some point there you picked up the momentum and rode it the rest of the way.
Yeah, and you have to have that collective belief, like I said.
Gonzalez cross into the box towards the back post. Header won by Bijev. Bodily touches around Wallace, controls and clears.
And sometimes those games are really the catalyst. Like you said, you know, the LA game away, we win 4-2, just go on its massive run. Darlington Nagbe plays as our number 8, box to box. He's just on fire, dynamic. We're creating chances. That was the little switches, the little keys to our run. And you just wonder for T2 when it's going to change for him, because the performances have been there. They've played some very good soccer, and now really it's just about getting that final touch, getting that final goal.
And the nice thing about the way this USL league is the amount of teams that are in it. Couple wins and you're right back in that playoff mix. So get a couple results, certainly take advantage of games at home, and you could find yourself in a good spot. Hansen's cross in for Bijev, header won by Guzman, but Lowe keeps it in the box. On the ground, plays it on the ground, but back to Guzman and cleared away by OKC. Heavy touch by Dixon and picked up by Lewis.
T2 is going to really have to be careful on that right-hand side. They're giving up a lot of space there over on Hansen's side. Make sure that they're covering for him when he goes forward.
Nice touch forward from Bijev, trying to find Cicerone. Wallace the first to it. Cicerone pressuring him, trying to win the ball away. Wallace does well to keep the ball and get it to Highland. Heavy pressure from T2. Oklahoma City able to release, though.
One thing we haven't discussed here, Fletcher, is the tactical change that OKC has made in this half, really pushing the number 7 Rasmussen on a little bit higher, you know, sometimes even acting as a forward, really pairing up well with Andy Craven up top.
Long switch, cut away by Bjornathan, but Dixon still manages to get on the end of it. Defended by Lewis. He'll drop to Bond. On the switch again, out to Harris. Header central to Gonzalez. Lewis comes back to clear it away. Augustine Williams, nice work to hold that ball up, keep possession, goes to ground. No foul called from Levi Rippey. And OKC back with it. Rasmussen, defended by Bjornathan. Square for and it's deflected. It was square for Craven. In the box, Lewis deflects it out for the 9th corner kick of the night for Oklahoma City.
Again, T2 going to have to be very careful on these set pieces. OKC has looked dangerous. Going to have to stick tight to those marks. Hopefully Bjornathan and McIntosh won't have to come up with any big saves on this one.
There's a perfect opportunity of one of these moments that Andrew Grigor is talking about. Haven't given anything up yet. Worked hard to keep this match level for the first 20 minutes of the second half. You can't have a switch off moment here in this situation. Bond will take the corner kick. Right-footed outswinger. Header won by Craven, deflected away by Bijev. It'll be the 10th corner kick of the night from the other corner flag.
And if you're OKC, you're looking to even things up in terms of the penalties. You know, do one of those guys maybe take a bit of a push as a, you know, turn that into a dive? You know, you're really looking for a little bit of gamesmanship here, because the referee, in my opinion, probably owes them one.
Craven more or less unmarked at the top of the box as this corner comes in. Lewis wins the header towards the near side of the 18, picked up by Wallace, defended by Bodily. Ball into the middle. Header won by Cicerone, but he actually had to bend down to win that header, and it's out to touch.
These are the moments, Fletcher, where T2's really got to buckle down, weather the storm, get through this pressure.
An offside called. So T2 will get the restart, and I'm sure would like to take a little bit of time here as Kendall McIntosh will trot over.
And again, I'd love to see T2 maybe try to dink a couple balls over that back line, you know, try to find some space. Even if it's not successful, put a little bit of fear into that back line, because I know as a former slow center back, that anytime a fast runner like Augustine Williams made a run at my back line, I'd always have to drop off a couple yards.
You think playing a little bit more direct is potentially the way T2 will go here in the final 20 minutes?
You got to soften OKC up a little bit. You know, they've come out, the aggressors, you know, they've really bossed the game a little bit. And I think that in order to counter that strategy, you know, there is some space in behind. They have to test that a little bit.
Wallace pass to Highland. He can't control it. And quickly back at the feet of T2. Hansen, Amick, back to Hansen. High press from OKC. Can T2 break it? Low, defended by 3 men. His pass finds its way through an OKC player's legs. BJF switches the point of attack to Bjornathan. Overlapping run coming from Bodley. Finds Bodley. Bodley can't do anything with it though. Slips down and out across the end line. Will have certainly wanted more from that opportunity.
Bjornathan just waiting a little bit too long to make this pass. Would have liked it if he'd maybe cut inside and taken a shot or made that pass just a little bit earlier.
Amick quickly from that center back spot. Make sure Rasmussen can't get his foot on the ball in the box. Long switch to Harris. Ball out of play. And a sub coming on. The first of the night for Andrew Greger's side. It'll be Omar Muhammad. That comes on for Russell Cicerone. Relatively quiet night for Cicerone, but what'd you think?
I thought he acquitted himself quite nicely, Fletcher. I really liked the way he defended, had a lot of energy, and definitely created a couple chances just with his movement from outside to in.
This will be a like-for-like substitution. Muhammad will come in and play that right winger. As Bodley headed it up in the air, Amick tried to keep it in play, couldn't do so in the 11th. Corner kick of the night coming for Oklahoma City. 1-1 through 70 minutes. Bond will take. In, goes all the way through the box, finds Wallace. Outside the box on the far side, defended by Batista. Batista with some nice work to hold him off. Probably would have run across the end line, but Batista does the safe thing and just gets it out of there and across midfield.
Excellent work from Batista, using that big body of his to shield the ball off. Thought that was a nice play by him.
On ball forward. Batista had to get a foot to that as Craven was making the run behind him. And out to touch from Rasmussen.
Interested to see
Harris
here.
called for a foul. Rather, it's Augustine Williams that was called for the foul.
Interested to see here, Fletcher, how Muhammad comes in and influences this game. He's a player that likes to come in on his right foot and a little bit pacier than Cicerone.
Had his one assist for the season 3 matches ago against Tulsa. And spent 2016 with FC Cincinnati, so familiar with a couple of these players on this OKC squad is Muhammad. Handball called on Guzman. And we'll get a restart as we have a chance to take a look at the upcoming schedule for T2. The next play, Reno, June 24th, right here at Providence Park. Then a trip down to Southern California to take on Orange County SC July 1st. And then 8 days later, Los Dos, LA Galaxy 2 here at Providence Park.
Excellent movement from Bodley there.
Bodley cross in behind one man. Finds Augustine Williams, who's forced to dribble it all the way back outside the box. Rather, that's Omar Muhammad. T2 still within in a good position, but Bjornathan's pass stolen away by Dixon and punted all the way down to Kendall McIntosh. Unfortunate that Muhammad's touch took him so far away from goal in that cross. As T2 probably not as strong in the second half as they were in the first half. Pass back from Lowe. Batista, will we see a penalty kick issued here? Yes, another one for Oklahoma City, as Batista couldn't control his body. Looks like he ran into the back of Craven. Maybe we'll have to take another look.
Yeah, it looked like there might have been some contact here. Let's see it.
Regardless, second penalty kick of the night for OKC.
Yeah, Craven really being aggressive with that touch, getting his body in front of Batista. Yeah, and I think that's a penalty for me. Craven doing a great job getting in front of Lamar Batista, and he's just got to be careful there. Clips the ankles, and Craven goes down.
Well, Kendall McIntosh made his first penalty kick save in 3 attempts this year earlier on tonight. We'll see if he can do it again. This time it'll be Andy Craven. There's the whistle. Craven steps, strikes, scores. Oklahoma City has the lead 2-1 in the 74th minute.
That's why you bring your forward in to finish up the chances. Excellent taken free kick from Andy Craven. Goes in confident, knows where the goalkeeper's going, puts it the other way.
Opens his account with OKC this year. His 6th appearance for Energy FC after coming over from FC Cincinnati no more than a couple months ago.
And you feel like that's a deserved goal for the OKC Energy. They've really come out and had the better of the play this half, created more of the chances, pushed more numbers into the attacking half of the field. And again, the more opportunities you get going forward, the more opportunities you're going to get calls from the referee.
So now T2 chasing an equalizer. Had their fair share of opportunities in the second half, just 3 shots. Or in the first half, they had their fair share of opportunities, just 3 shots here in the second half. I'd expect to see T2 have more possession here as Oklahoma City tries to defend this 1-goal lead. Batista's pass behind Bodley, and it's a turnover. Dixon showing his legs, back post, nobody home, 1v1 versus the keeper. It's Gonzalez who dribbles around him, and it's Amick who makes the save. Was it a handball? They say it was, and it'll be another penalty kick for Oklahoma City. Amick's in disbelief. Let's take a look.
Excellently crossed ball here from right to left. McIntosh out, gets around him. Hits the arm. PK, definitely.
The real question is, where was that defender to help behind on Gonzalez? Craven will have an opportunity at the brace.
And I think that that's what happens when you go down a goal. You know, you have to push numbers forward, and you're going to give up some space in behind. And in that situation, T2 not quick enough to recover.
As Kendall McIntosh has gone down. Not sure what the issue is here, but he did come out to challenge Gonzalez as the mid forward drove around him. Looks like McIntosh looking at that right leg. The trainer Taichi Kitagawa will come out to take a look at him. So we take a look from the high up view as to the positioning on the field.
Yeah, Harold Hansen just committed himself to the attack, not able to get back in time. leads to the OKC opportunity. Got to hope that Kendall McIntosh is doing okay.
And the goalkeeper available off the bench tonight, Wade Hamilton, who has played in and started 5 separate T2 matches this year. Let's show you how we got to this point here, 78 minutes in. And it was T2 that opened the scoring off a penalty kick in the 39th.
It's just been a PK festival over here in this game. 3 PKs thus far. Bijev excellently done. Stutter step, goal.
Moved to the 42nd minute, and this was the equalizer. Cleared off the line momentarily.
Dornifin doing a great job of clearing the ball off the line. Ball bounces, fortunately for OKC.
All right, so we are back to action. McIntosh back at his feet, okay. And Craven, a chance at a brace. Strikes, and this time goes to McIntosh's left. He dives to his right. And the visitors have opened up a 2-goal lead.
Very impressed with that PK from Craven. Difficult to take 2 PKs against the same goalkeeper in one game. Does an excellent job with that finish.
So now T2 need a pair of goals if they want at least a point out of this match.
OKC Energy goal scored in the 78th minute by number 99.
But again, I think when you look, I think at the average age of these two teams, you know, the player that we talk about who, you know, maybe is in a position he'll regret later on, Harold Hansen, is 17 years old. And that's why we're playing these games, is so that players like that can get these opportunities so that they learn to not put themselves in that position at this point in a game.
Absolutely. And, you know, 17 years old, you're going to expect situations like that.
Bodily off the layoff from Bijev, puts it over the top of Cochran's net. Good response there. A little early action as Harold Hansen got into the attack as well. But you're running up against a team whose average age is 26 and a half. The majority of these guys 28 years old, 26, 25, 25, 27. So there's some heavy experience in this OKC team, a team that nearly knocked off a first-choice Colorado Rapids side midweek in the U.S. Open Cup.
And that's what experience does for you, Fletcher. It gives you the opportunity to absorb pressure, to absorb chances, go down a goal, and have the resilience to come back and now turn the tables. They're up 3-1.
10 minutes to find a pair of goals for T2. Back to Batista. Just haven't quite had that same rhythm and that same feel that they did in the first half, have they?
No, and really I think credit to OKC. They've come out, they've pressed high, they've really been dangerous. Rasmussen pushing on into the final third. Those additional numbers have really caused T2 problems, and they just weren't able to get back into the game.
To Muhammad, tries to dribble through a couple defenders. Andrews comes through to clear it away. I think it also is worth mentioning as well, you look at the different focuses of these organizations. Portland Timbers 2 is a developmental club for the first team. So, of course they want to win trophies, of course they want to win games, but it's really 1A, 1B with winning and developing players for the first team. Whereas you look at an Oklahoma City team that is maybe loosely affiliated with FC Dallas, but not in any way like Timbers and T2 are, and their goal is to go out and win USL every year. So their focus is a little bit different than what Andrew Greger and T2 are dealing with.
And you have to let your young players fail to succeed sometimes. And I think that when you look at the overall body of work of this team so far, okay, no, the results haven't been there, but the performances, those are the most important things. And you're seeing development from some of these young players. You're seeing Harold Hansen developing. You're seeing guys like Lewis and Lowe in the midfield really growing as players. You're seeing Augustine Williams up top. You're seeing Bodily just really becoming smarter players right in front of your eyes. And of course, it's not going to be perfect every game, but that's just part of the development process, isn't it?
Was there a moment in your career, good or bad, that throughout time you always remembered or looked back on as something that you pulled from to keep yourself in that right frame of mind at all times?
Yeah, you know, as a young 17-year-old in Harold Hanson's shoes, you know, I remember playing.
Here comes Bodley as we will see what happens with his cross. Cleared away and back to Amick.
I remember playing in a youth tournament, you know, having a really tough tournament, you know, making a few mistakes, you know, get yelled at by my coach, you know, thinking, hey, you know, it was all going to be over. But, you know, the awesome thing about that opportunity was, hey, you know, I learned from it. I learned that it's never going to be perfect. And you really have to, you know, fail sometimes to figure out what kind of player you are.
Dixon quickly the other way after Muhammad's shot was blocked in the box. Dixon loses out to Batista, who's able to keep it in play. Batista has certainly shown flashes throughout the course of the season, has gotten better and better. Here's another guy, speaking of youngsters, 18 years old. Played his freshman year at UC Santa Barbara in the fall of 2016. Ball out for Gonzalez. Gonzalez, corner of the box, has 2 men in there with him. We'll drop it back for Rasmussen. He'll go square to Bond. Bodley kind of baited him into that. And OKC forced to go all the way back to Cochran, who really hasn't had much to do here in this second half.
I think it's a great challenge for T2 right now. Down 2 goals, an opportunity now to try and break a team down. Great chances. You know OKC is going to sit back. They're going to defend. They're going to make things really difficult for T2. Now, can they create something? Can they find Bijev? Can they find Williams? Can they get some numbers into the box and be dangerous?
Got about 6 minutes plus stoppage time to do so here in the second half. Bjornathan's got it down there in the end line, defended by Harris. Back to Bodley. Bodley gets around one man, tries to work himself around Guzman, goes back for Lewis. Lewis to Hanson. Some sustained buildup here by T2. Shot from low is wide of the net for a goal kick. And we'll get our second substitution of the night for OKC. It will be Alex Dixon coming off for Daniel Gonzalez, who is the brother of Miguel Gonzalez. Daniel in his 3rd year with OKC. Scored the first goal of that US Open Cup match against Colorado midweek. Hanson loses out to Miguel Gonzalez, but works hard to get it back and now can bring it the other direction. Goes central for Augustine Williams. Picks it up in the center circle. Now out to Bjornathan. Switch the point of attack over to Hanson. 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Hanson's pass forward will roll out of play as Muhammad tried to chase it down, and they say that Cochran came out. There must have been a deflection. That must have been the reason that Cochran had come out to try and touch it. That's the 3rd corner kick of the night for T2.
Encouraging build up there from T2.
Cross will come in. A left-footed in-swinger from Muhammad. In central, falls to Bijev, who touches it down, out to low. Volleys it back towards the top of the box and cleared away by Andrews.
Excellent ball in there from Muhammad. Just a teasing cross. Somebody's just got to get in there and get their head on the ball.
Jonathan dribbling forward against Gonzalez. Now picked up by Harris. Harris knocks it out to touch. And another substitution coming for Oklahoma City. Daniel Jackson, who had both the assists on goals in the US Open Cup midweek, will come on, and he will replace Andy Craven. So Craven, his first 2 goals in an Energy FC uniform this year on a pair of penalty kicks, making Jimmy Nielsen a very happy man.
Looks like Jackson will just slide in here on the wing. Rasmussen moves into the middle of the field for OKC. Sorry, excuse me. Jackson playing up top still.
Subs are up and off the bench for Portland, but nobody really warming up at this time. So, barring some unforeseen circumstance, probably the 11 that will finish are on the field right now. Bijev can't control it after a couple nifty moves. Gonzalez brings it the other way, Daniel that is, and Lewis easily cuts out his square pass. Now to Bodley. Has Harris backpedaling. Bodley inside the box. Now forced to play it back towards Lewis. It's knocked out to touch.
Bodley just waiting a little bit too long there. Would love to see him get that cross off into the box.
In for Williams, Cody Andrews gets his foot to it, and it's out for a corner kick. So T2 earned themselves another corner kick, and Bijev will come over to take this one. Two goals needed in 2 minutes plus stoppage time for T2 to at least pick up a point here tonight. Bijev towards the back post. Header won by Wallace, but really just headed along. Drops to Amick. Picked up by Rasmussen. We'll play it to Lowe. Lowe to Lewis. Now back around the horn to Bijev. If he can get on the end of it, he won't, and it's out for a goal kick.
Yeah, now you're looking at OKC and you're saying, okay, veteran team, experienced, how are they going to lock things down here in these final minutes?
And you see Jimmy Nielsen right below us was pointing down to the corner.
Yeah, Jimmy Nielsen, a master of killing off games. The guy used to spend about 30 seconds in his own box trying to find the ball. Absolutely kill you if you're an opponent waiting to get the ball back into play.
Now, is that why they call him the White Puma, you think, or is there some other reason?
I think it's the obvious one for sure. Huh?
His hair. There's Harris with the flip throw, chested down by Bjornathan. Outlet to Bijev, now out to Augustine Williams. Williams defended by Andrews. Now Guzman comes over to help.
Excellent work from Williams there.
And he earns a throw. So it looks like we're going to see a yellow card shown to Chad Bond, if I'm not correct, or at least a talking to from Levi Rippey. There was an interaction with Blake Bodley after Bodley had passed the ball on to Bijev, and they are going to give Bond a yellow card. So the second player in the book tonight for Oklahoma City is Chad Bond after a little tangle with Blake Bodley. 2 minutes of stoppage time added on here at the end of the second half. T2 running out of time.
Yeah, not much time if you're a T2 fan. Really hoping for more time than that.
Yellow card, OKC Energy number 6, Chad Bond.
Lewis will go out for Hansen. Quick cross in from Muhammad. Header from Augustine Williams is just wide. Augustine Williams has had a couple good chances to put his name in the ledger tonight, but just can't quite direct that one on frame.
Excellent out-swinging ball from Muhammad. Augustine Williams gets his head on it just wide of goal. Oh, just want to see him maybe redirect that to the opposite side of the goal. Give himself a chance. Great chance, though.
You can see the skills he has. He just has to add that last little bit of quality.
And that's the kind of things that it's going to come. As a young player, you get those opportunities. Your eyes get wide. And, as you get older, more established, more composure, you're going to find those chances. You're going to put them away.
Nice ball from the outside of the right foot from Lewis to find Bjornathan. tries to backheel, not enough on it, and easily won by Guzman. Jonathan quickly back and will defend Daniel Gonzalez. Gonzalez keeps it away from Lewis, but then dribbles it out to touch. Nearly through the 2 minutes at the discretion of Levi Rippey. BJev picks up the ball 30 yards from goal. Now to Muhammad Central. He'll go out for Hansen. Hansen takes the shot, and it is well wide of C.J. Cochran's net.
I think BJev has had a good game tonight. It's been encouraging to see him get on the ball, make some quick passes. I think Muhammad's come in here and really created some good things for T2.
Yeah, Muhammad has been certainly an electricity bolt here since he's come on, but not enough for T2 tonight as they fall on the back of a pair of penalty kicks for Oklahoma City Energy FC. 3-1 here at Providence Park. We'll have full match highlights and final thoughts coming your way next here from Providence Park. It finishes after 90 minutes. Oklahoma City Energy FC 3, Portland Timbers 2-1. Back for a final time here at Providence Park following a 3-1 win for OKC Energy FC against Portland Timbers 2. And it gives us an opportunity to go ahead and take a look at the next match for this Timbers 2 side. It'll be 8 days from now back here in this building, Providence Park, against Reno 1868 FC at 7 p.m. But before that, let's go ahead and take a look back at tonight's highlights. It starts off in the 23rd minute with a great opportunity for Portland to get on the board.
This is really a tale of two halves here, Fletcher. First half, T2, ton of chances. Almost the finish here from Williams.
Great save by Cochran to keep the match level. Then in the 29th minute, it was OKC.
Yeah, a little helter-skelter around the box. Some emergency defending from Bjornathan.
Headed off the line. And then the penalty that gave T2 an opportunity to take the lead.
Harsh call if you're an OKC fan. Penalty kick.
And then it's BJev with a chance to score it.
Excellent. Cool finish from BJev.
Move on to the 42nd minute. Managing moments. T2 didn't manage this one well.
Yeah, kept a high line here. McIntosh off his line. Helter-skelter in the box. Emergency defending again. Ball falls. Rasmussen goal.
So that leveled the tally, and that's where we sat at the end of the first half. And Kendall McIntosh with the penalty save against Anthony Wallace.
Cat-like reflexes from Kendall McIntosh there.
Unfortunately, it would be a couple more penalties. This one on Lamar Batista.
Yeah, penalty for sure.
And the first of Andy Craven's too. did well to finish that one. Then just a minute later, Gonzalez got free.
Again, another penalty. Unfortunate to hit the hand in the box, but it is a penalty.
Craven goes the opposite way that time. And that is where we finished here tonight at Providence Park. 3-1 in favor of the visitors. All right, that'll do it for us this evening. I want to thank all of our crew behind the scenes. For my analyst, Nat Borchers, I'm Fletcher Johnson. Thanks for joining us tonight. Once again, a reminder, T2 back in action 8 days from now against Reno 1868 FC, right back here at Providence Park. Until then, enjoy your Father's Day weekend, and thanks for joining us here this evening. We'll talk to you again soon. 22nd of April. A chance to open the scoring. BJF step strikes, and T2 has the lead. The 22nd of April. A chance to open the scoring. BJF step strikes, and T2 has the lead. BJF's 4th goal of the year puts T2 in front less than 6 minutes before the break.
Love the stutter set.
22nd of April. A chance to open the scoring. BJF step strikes, and T2 has the lead. On the 22nd of April. A chance to open the scoring. BJF step strikes, and T2 has the lead. Wallace wins the header to the head of Craven. Now a direct ball forward over the top, finds Craven. McIntosh off his line. Can he get it in? Saved off the line once again by Bjornathan. Second time tonight. This one finds the back of the net though, as Lewis's pass forward ends up at the feet of Bjornathan. Second time tonight. This one finds the back of the net though, as Lewis's pass forward ends up at the feet of an Energy FC player, and the visitors have leveled the tally.
Really thought Bjornathan had him saved once again, but on
head of Craven. Now a direct ball forward over the top, finds Craven. McIntosh off his line. Can he get it in? Saved off the line once again by Bjornathan. Second time tonight. This one finds the back of the net though, as Lewis's pass forward ends up at the feet of an Energy FC player. Wallace wins the header to the head of Craven. Now a direct ball forward over the top, finds Craven. McIntosh off his line. Can he get it in? Saved off the line once again by Bjornathan. Second time tonight. This one finds the back of the net though, as Lewis's pass forward ends up at the feet of an Energy FC player, and the visitors have leveled. Wallace wins the header to the head of Craven. Now a direct ball forward over the top, finds Craven. McIntosh off his line. Can he get it in? Saved off the line once again by Bjornathan. Second time tonight. This one finds the back of the net though. As T2 probably not as strong in the second half as they were in the first half. Pass back from Lowe. Batista. Will we see a penalty kick issued here? Yes, another one for Oklahoma City, as Batista couldn't control his body. Looks like he ran into the back of Craven. Maybe we'll have to take another look.
Yeah, it looked like there might have been some contact here. Let's see it.
Regardless, second penalty kick of the night for OKC.
Yeah, Craven really being aggressive with that touch, getting his body in front of Batista.
There's the whistle. Craven steps, strikes, scores. Oklahoma City has the lead 2-1 in the 74th minute.
That's why you bring your forward in to finish up your chances.
There's the whistle. Craven steps, strikes, scores. Oklahoma City has the lead 2-1 in the 74th minute. There's the whistle. Craven steps, strikes, scores. Oklahoma City has the lead 2-1 in the 74th minute. There's the whistle. Craven steps, strikes, scores. Oklahoma City has the lead 2-1 in the 74th minute. Diction showing his legs, back post, nobody home, 1v1 versus the keeper. It's Gonzalez who dribbles around him, And it's Amick who makes the save. Was it a handball? They say it was. And it'll be another penalty kick for Oklahoma City. Amick's in disbelief. Let's take a look.
Excellently for OKC.
All right, so we are back to action. McIntosh back at his feet, okay. And Craven, a chance at a brace. Strikes, and this time goes to McIntosh's left. He dives to his right. And the visitors have opened up a 2-goal lead.
For OKC.
All right, so we are back to action. McIntosh back at his feet, okay. And Craven, a chance at a brace. Strikes, and this time goes to McIntosh.